Hello everybody and welcome to Judge Mathas, and today on trial stands Frozen State. Frozen State is kind of new to Steam on early access, maybe a week or two old, and it is another game to throw itself into that survival sandbox genre that has been ever expanding over the course of the few past years rather. Right now it is still very early, it's the 9th build of its alpha, but it's a game that I wanted to check out and see what it's all about because it looked like it appealed to kind of my sense of enjoyment when it comes to these types of games. Now I'm happy to say that so far what I've played is very promising, but I will of course point out it is still a work in progress and there is still a lot to be implemented and tweaked within the game. The reason I'm looking at this right now is because what's here is interesting enough to me that warrants to show it off to you guys and make sure you guys can keep your eye on it, see if it does expand, into the more detailed areas that it's promising. And if you are interested and you wanted to drop $10 on it, which is its current price, you could. But again, it's alpha, so don't expect much. So the gist of Frozen State is a survival game, right? Like I said, survival. So what makes it unique in comparison to other survival games like it? Well, for one, there are no zombies, so that's important. There are mutants, but there are no zombies. Mutants are different because they have a much quicker movement. They have different powers depending on the mutant you come across. It's just a different kind of thing. And two, the game is heavily focused on this idea of weather. Where some games take radiation, like Stalker, this game takes a harsh winter. And if you're outside in the cold too long, you start dying, and you die due to just freezing to death. So you're always kind of striking this balance of going out into the cold and scavenging for supplies and finding a building that is livable and able to sleep in through the night to keep warm, while still scavenging for campfire material and stuff to keep yourself warm. It's really cool. It has a really cool premise, a cool idea. It definitely needs a little bit of polish, definitely needs a lot of polish and a lot more features to really make it a fully fleshed game. But for now, it's pretty damn cool. So let's go ahead and let's start a new game. Now, there are 3 characters intended, but for right now you can only play as Ingvar. Essentially, basically, they're going to have different starting strengths and weaknesses to kind of survive in. So we're going to pick Ingvar. He's the only guy you can play right now. And the game takes place on this top-down, semi-isometric view. It's interesting that they made this decision to do this, but still have a 3D kind of environment, and I'm going to talk about why that is in a minute. So for now, as you can see, WASD moves. Wherever I point my mouse, he looks, and this is the tutorial area that you kind of get at every new game. In the top left, you have your health, you have your temperature here, and what you have equipped. If we hit tab, we can pop open our inventory, which has our skills, our map, which again, in development, crafting, info, journal, which is in development, and a manual, which teaches you how to play the game. So right now, all you can really play with is your inventory and your crafting, and that's generally all you've got. So right now, we're going to go ahead and start equipping some stuff. We start with some basic stuff. So light survivor's outfit, which will give us a temperature bonus to keep us a little bit warm, and a little bit of armor. So we're going to go ahead and put that on our body. You can see it's kind of durability here. We also have, what else do we have? Let's hit, we're in the all part. Light survivor's outfit, which is already there. We have a 9mm, which is ammo. We should have a gun. This is going to go ahead and go into our gadgets, actually. So let's go ahead and put the flashlight in our gadgets. There's not much else here. Let's do a quick loot of the area. So we don't have much else to start with. So let's go ahead and around. So we can go around and kind of interact with certain things. Not everything is interactable quite yet. We're going to take the batteries out of that radio. If we hold down right click, we can actually rotate the camera. So that's actually a nice little bonus of doing the 3D stuff. Pack of spaghetti, which is somewhat useful. This right here is a fireplace, which we can use. So right now this kind of starts as our basic opening, our basic safe house, if we wanted to stay here. We can hide, which is a mechanic you use against enemies. We have a safe, which has nothing in it. I don't know if the starting loot is randomized every time you play. I can't remember. It looks like it might be, which kind of shitty, not gonna lie. Box of wood is useful though. We'll take all that. The wood is gonna allow us to create some campfires, some more wood. Again, I think the loot actually is somewhat randomized at the beginning, because I'm not getting a lot here. Anything in the bathroom? No. And I'm not sure. I don't think your starting equipment might also be randomized, because I remember having a gun last time I played, which was useful. tourist backpack, pack lunch. So we're going to have a backpack we can equip, which will expand our inventory a little bit. And that's it. So we'll take a quick look at what we were able to gather here. It looks like the world takes place some point in the 80s because of the computer. The really old-timey computer. All right, so let's pop open our inventory real quick. We have ammo, but no gun, which is, I mean, mostly useless at this point. We have a tourist backpack that we'll equip, so it'll expand our inventory a little bit. And that's about it. Not that great. So we have gadgets that we can equip, which is like flashlights and stuff. One other thing I'm actually going to go ahead and put at the bottom here is some spaghetti. No. Oatmeal? Really? I thought you could put stuff down here. Okay, so certain items you can put down there, others you can't. Maybe this pack stuff has to be cooked or opened, maybe. Still learning. So we've got something down there to eat, but we have nothing to drink, which means we have to go out and start looking for food and water, which is where a lot of the game's more intricate kind of mechanics start to come in, and we'll show those off here in a minute. This is an old wooden door. It has a code, so there will come across doors that have codes. If you look around, sometimes you'll find the code. Sometimes you'll need to use an electronic lock pick if you can find them. But we'll go out the back door, which just has a latch on it, which we can switch the latch over, unlock it, and then we can go ahead and pop it open. So once you hit outside, that's when things start becoming a little bit more difficult. You can zoom out to about here, but that's about it. Now, the reason I was talking about a little earlier, the frustration I can find myself having with this idea, because you kind of really can't see a lot. In fact, a lot of the game is restricted in its camera angle, and you can't zoom out as much as I would like. Well, good thing with Zomboid and its isometric view is that they do allow you to zoom out far enough where you feel like you can see as far as your character would be able to see. As of right now, Frozen State's camera angle is pretty heavily restricted, and I don't feel like I'm getting the full sense of what my character can see. In fact, a lot of what I feel is that the character can see way farther than I can, which when it comes to sneaking around and stuff is important, that I can see a good distance, because then I know when I want to sneak or not, which hitting spacebar allows you to sneak. There is a sneaking mechanic. In fact, sneaking is incredibly important in this game due to how the world works. And it kind of sucks that I can't see nearly as far as what I would assume my character can see. And that's a little bit frustrating, mainly because I kind of have to rely on what they implement is a listening mechanic. If I hold down the C button, I actually have a listening mechanic, and I can kind of hear where the enemies are. Also, their game is separated into zones right now. It's not a seamless world, which kind of sucks a little bit, but for the most part, doesn't bother me that much. So right now, we're kind of focusing on this listening aspect of the game, where using this is going to be the most important part, because we're going to need to listen as to where a lot of the enemies are. I will say that the environmental sounds of the whistling wind and oh, hey, there's a mutant there. See, he sees me. The wind and all that good stuff is kind of a problem. I think he left me. Not a problem, rather. It sounds really, really good. That mutant was actually really slow. As you can see in the top right, we're starting to get freeze. This is where a lot of the hunger and thirst meter will pop up. And we'll probably die sooner rather than later, because the game is very difficult so far. This is a big house. Okay. This is holy shit. Oh, he's here. I have no weapon. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. So different mutants. So all we can do is punch and hope, which I'm going to go ahead and do, and punch him and hope I can kill him, because he's going to be able to keep up with me. That's why sneaking is hugely important. He heard me, and that sucks. He doesn't do that much damage, so I'm hoping we can actually we can win this fight. It's just clicking, by the way, to fight. We're going to die. Oh, we got him. A jackal jumper. He had nothing on him. At the very least, though, we can swing into here now and hope that there's not a lot of zombies. There's not a lot of mutants in here. Now, the cold meter is red now, which is indicative of starting to die from frost. There's also broken glass in the ground. The stealth elements in this game are actually a pretty big focus, which I like. Now, we actually will not end up getting warm in this building, and the reason for that is let's actually go ahead and bandage up, is because the windows are broken. If there's a house and there are windows broken, your character will not get warm because the cold is just piercing through. Makes sense. We're going to go ahead and use it. Did I actually use it? I hope I bandaged. Maybe bandage only prevents bleeding. So as you can see, the windows are broken. There's still snow on the ground and stuff. So it is not a point in which that's this door. Hopefully it's just a latch. Basically what that means is we can't actually do anything. And we can't actually get warm in here. Is there a wall? Or is this wide open? I can't tell if this is like... I think the ceiling is in here. So we could probably end up crashing in here and staying warm. So let's go to the crafting menu and take a look at campfire. So we can create a campfire. We can create a few campfires. Let's use them all up. We can carry them around essentially. Think of it like Tinder or something. And if we go back to hopefully our inventory here, we can put it down. Now, I don't know if I can actually just go ahead and use one. Oops. And yep, we can kind of point and click. Oops, that was not what I meant to do. I'm still kind of getting used to it a little bit. All right, let's try that again. Use. There we go. And we can kind of get warm. So we can choke the fire or examine it. So if we need to put it out, we can. But I'm going to stand next to it for now and just kind of warm up. There's a bed in here, so we can go to sleep in here. Our character is getting tired. We're also getting hungry, so let's go ahead and eat our chocolate bar. Unfortunately, we have not found anything to drink, which is going to be a problem. But we will hopefully get warm. Let's take a look at this chest. A grocery bag, an empty bottle. I'm assuming we can use that grocery bag to open up our, basically open up our, there we go, our inventory a bit more. Let's see if there's anything else here. Hopefully we're going to be safe enough here in this room that we can be okay. So let's go ahead and rest up. So the other thing is I don't know how long we're here. So let's go ahead and rest up for 6 hours. And let's hope we don't die of thirst. Let's also... We're freezing again. Fires are massively important in this game. So we're going to go ahead and warm up. And once we're warmed up, it's pitch black out. We're not going out at night. The game does a very good job with creating a tense atmosphere, which I love. I think the atmosphere is one of this game's strongest points. And its survival mechanics so far are damn good. I hope that they really do focus on the idea of this kind of survival horror aspect as they continue to develop. Because one of the things that I really like is that the game is actually pretty scary too. And not because it's pop-out scary, but because the mutants are more of a hunter type enemy. A port wine, I'll take it. They're more out to stalk you and hunt you down, as opposed to something like a zombie where, yeah, they can be scary, but as long as, the game, the fear doesn't come in you not knowing what's around the next corner. The fear comes in that you could get surrounded easily. Where these things, the mutants anyway, feel like they are kind of out there hunting you. They're not big in number, but they're... What was that noise? But their presence, their ability to just kind of hunt you down and kill you is what's really terrifying. So we're going to go ahead and back in here, shut this door, and warm back up. As you can see, we got cold very, very quickly in there, and we are dropping in health slowly. So let's continue to do this. If we hit Kindle Fire. Oh, okay, so we can kind of change back and forth. So we can just put wood, presumably. We have 60 wood. Let's go ahead and just keep the fire going. And well, we can cook food in here too. So let's keep it kindled. Let's see if we can actually do a pack of spaghetti. Nope. Oatmeal? Nope. Nothing I can really actually do in here. But we can actually kindle it, so that's good. Let's rest. Like another 5 or 6 hours. Another 6 hours should be good. Hopefully we'll be back in the daytime. And we healed up overnight too. And it looks like we're looking pretty good. Now, I don't think port wine will actually quench our thirst a bit. But let's drink it anyway. Did it actually? It is. Port wine is actually helping our dehydration. Interesting. Oh, is that a crate that we can loot? Let's take a look. No. I think those are walls there. I really do. So we spent the night in this house. We got warmed up. We didn't really get much out of it, unfortunately, but... Whoops. But we were able to stay safe here. We got some port wine, actually, so it's not like we got nothing. And it looks like these glass things, I don't know if they actually make noise. We are getting hungry. I don't know if they actually make noise, but it looks like they're kind of poised to eventually make noise. A bicycle bag, a bag of buckwheat. We are filling up our inventory pretty quickly here. It's good to see another survival genre, though, take on the idea of that survival horror feel with an emphasis on survival. A lot of survival horrors obviously are way too horror, and a lot of these survival games don't have enough horror in them. And I would say Frozen State does a real excellent job at creating a very interesting dynamic between the two. So if we hold down the C button, we can listen. Again, one of the biggest problems, though, is the restrictive vision. I almost feel like the game would do really well at a behind the back kind of angle. The problem would be, I guess, the idea that a non-seamless world to be a little bit disjointed. It already is kind of disjointed. Oh, motherfucker. What? He busted the door and then didn't do anything. So that house... Oh my god. See that right there? Like, breaking that down is terrifying. So what would I say are the biggest complaints right now? Well, a lot of my complaints with the game that sit with it are merely due to the fact that it's an early access game. That's the biggest complaint that I have right now, is that there's not a lot of features. For instance, oh, F that thing. For instance, there's no NPCs yet, there's plans to do NPCs. There's no building, there's no barricading. You can't really make a safe house. As of right now, all you can really do is kind of go house to house and just loot and survive. And although that's fun for a time, that can definitely get a little repetitive. But what I will say is that what's here is very promising. They have some very decent and interestingly implemented mechanics in the game so far. I like the idea that not only is the enemy scary, but merely the environment is out to get you. A really harsh environment that's not easy to cope with. You need to really kind of balance that bouncing back and forth between going outside and looting and staying inside and staying warm. And building fires, all that stuff, to keep your character warm is integral into that survival aspect of the game. It's still early. Would I recommend going out and get it right now? Again, that's going to vary from person to person. But me personally, I would say no. I would say wait. The game is still very early in development, and because of that, requires a bit of a... oh, God. Requires a... Can I hide anywhere in here? Did he open the door? All right, let's hide. Let's see if he finds me. I would say the game requires a bit more time. Like this right here. This right here, like, brings the survival to a whole different area. I can't hear. Like, this listening thing, though, is I can't hear. But the idea that there is AI that you get to hide from, and hiding is a legitimate tactic like this is awesome. And I love it. He's probably right out here. Yeah, there he is. Ah! Alright, he's just going to spit at me a bunch. But we'll wrap this episode up here. Check it out. Keep an eye. I would say keep an eye on Frozen State. And maybe, just maybe, in a few months' time, when there's some decent patches, grab it. It's definitely a cool little game, though, and I'm really interested to see where it goes from here. There is some interesting twists coming on the survival genre, and this is one of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little look at Frozen State. If you're interested, go check it out on Steam and check out their webpage. There will be a link to the game in the description below if you really think you should grab the game now. But I like what's here, and it's very promising. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.